I still don't know if what we did that night was evil, stupid, or just inevitable. Maybe all three. What I do know is that when I close my eyes, I still hear her voice. Not Sarah's voice, the one we grew up with, the one that laughed until she wheezed and sang out of tune in the car. No, I hear the other voice, the one that came later, the one that made us desperate enough to call a stranger into her parents' house and beg him to save her. There were 5 of us. Me, my girlfriend Kayla, my best friend Eric, his brother Matt, and Sarah, the one we thought we could save. Sarah had been different for weeks. It started with little things sleepwalking, muttering to herself, scratching welts into her own arms. Then came the night her mother found her crouched on the roof in the rain, eyes rolled white, nails torn bloody from climbing out her window. After that, she didn't leave her bedroom. The doctors couldn't explain it, the pastor wouldn't touch it, and Sarah, she begged us not to leave her alone, even when she said it in that guttural rasp that didn't belong in her throat. Eric was the one who found him the so-called exorcist. Not a priest, not sanctioned by any church, just a man who had seen things, who knew the rights, who promised he could help. His name was Daniel Price. He asked for nothing but privacy and trust. We gave him both. We had nothing else to give. Sarah's parents had gone to stay with relatives, too terrified to be in the house anymore. That left us alone in the sagging old farmhouse on the edge of town, with its peeling wallpaper and creaking pipes that already made the place feel haunted before any of this began. We gathered in her room around 11 p.m. Sarah was strapped to the bed, not our choice, but hers. She'd begged us to tie her wrists with belts and duct tape so she wouldn't hurt anyone. Her skin was pale and clammy, lips cracked, eyes fever bright in the glow of a single lamp. When Daniel arrived, I felt my stomach sink. He wasn't what I expected. No robes, no Bible, just a gaunt man in a heavy coat, eyes ringed with shadow, clutching a worn leather satchel. He looked more like a junkie than a holy man. But when Sarah saw him, she screamed. Not in fear, in rage. Her body bucked against the restraints, her teeth snapping, spit flying. Her voice dropped 2 octaves in a second, curling like smoke from her throat. He can't save you. He's mine. The words rattled the glass in the windows. Kayla grabbed my arm, her nails digging through fabric into skin. Matt swore under his breath. Eric, always the bravest of us, muttered, Jesus Christ. Daniel didn't flinch. He set his satchel on the floor, knelt beside the bed, and whispered, she's not the one talking. He lit 3 black candles, placing them in a crooked triangle on the floor. From his satchel, he pulled out salt, a flask of something sharp-smelling, and a small leather-bound book so worn the title was illegible. Whatever you do, he said, don't break the circle, and no matter what she says, it isn't her. We nodded, though none of us truly understood what that meant. Daniel sprinkled salt around the bed, chanting under his breath in a language I didn't recognize. The air in the room seemed to thicken, pressing into my ears like we were underwater. Sarah thrashed, her restraints biting into her skin, blood welling beneath the belts. Then she laughed, a horrible wet laugh that gurgled in her throat. Little lambs, she crooned, her voice layered, male and female all at once. You brought me a clown, a fraud. You think this will save her. Daniel ignored her, opening the book. He began to read in a low, guttural rhythm. That's when Sarah's eyes rolled back completely, the whites glowing faint in the candlelight. Her back arched, her body bowing in an impossible angle, bones cracking like knuckles. Her mouth opened wider than it should have, and a howl ripped through the room, vibrating the walls. The light bulb in the lamp shattered. We were in darkness, except for the 3 flickering candles. I don't know how long Daniel chanted. Minutes, hours it stretched into something timeless. The air grew hotter, suffocating, and with each phrase, Sarah's body twisted harder, her flesh tearing against the restraints. Then she started to speak. Not nonsense, not growls, our secrets. To Kayla, I know who else you kissed last summer, when you told him you loved him. To Matt, your father never wanted you. He told your mother that night. To Eric, you're the reason he hung himself. You left a note on the table. Each word was a knife. We couldn't look at each other. We couldn't breathe. Then she turned to me. Her voice softened, became hers against her. Please, untie me, she whispered, tears glinted in her eyes. It's me, I swear, it's me. He's hurting me. You're letting him kill me. Please, don't let him. I moved, I swear to God, I didn't mean to, but I moved toward the bed, hands trembling at the tape. Kayla screamed at me to stop. Daniel shouted something in that strange tongue, his voice sharper, angrier. But it was too late. My fingers broke the salt circle as I reached. The air in the room detonated. The candles flared, their flames twisting black. Sarah's body convulsed, blood spraying from her wrists as the restraints snapped like rotten rope. The thing inside her was free. She moved faster than anything human. 1 second she was on the bed, the next she was across the room, slamming Eric into the wall with one hand. The sound of his skull hitting plaster will haunt me forever. Matt lunged at her, but she caught his arm and bent it backwards until it snapped, bone tearing through his skin. He collapsed, screaming. Kayla tried to run. Sarah's head snapped toward, her neck cracking, and in 2 strides she had Kayla by the throat, lifting her off the ground. Her eyes glowed in the candlelight, pure white veins spiderwebbing across her skin. Daniel shouted incantations, throwing the contents of his flask onto her. The liquid sizzled, smoke rising from her skin. She dropped Kayla, shrieking in a voice so loud it felt like it split the air in two. "You can't bind me." Her body shook, convulsed, then went still. Her mouth split into a grin, too wide, too sharp. "Now," she whispered, "I'll bind you. The rest is fragments, burned into me like scars." Eric coughing, blood on the floor. Matt sobbing, clutching the ruin of his arm. Kayla dragging me toward the door, her nails tearing at my skin. Daniel screaming words I didn't understand, until Serono had turned on him, and his screams cut off in a choking gurgle. We fled. God help me, we left him there. We ran down the hallway, through the kitchen, out into the rain, barefoot and broken. Behind us, the house shook with the sound of laughter. Not Sarah's laughter. Something deeper, something endless. When the police came the next day, the house was empty. No Daniel, no Sarah, no blood, no signs of struggle. Just 5 melted candles on our bedroom floor and a faint ring of salt. They said we were drunk. They said we imagined it. They said Sarah ran away, but we know. Eric hasn't spoken since that night. Matt's arm never healed right. Kayla left me 2 months later, saying she couldn't look at me without hearing Sarah's voice whispering in the dark. And me. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, I wake up to the sound of belts snapping, of laughter, gurgling, of a voice at the foot of my bed whispering, "You broke the circle. You let me out. I'm still here."